recording class sessions this quarter, and so a day or two after the class, I will post a link. It'll be on YouTube to the class session. So if you do have to miss a class you'll have an opportunity to view the class session on YouTube if you like to. And I really encourage, if for some reason you do miss a class, to do that as part of catching up, basically.
So what would it be under YouTube?
I'll send a link to it. So it'll just be a link that you click. Yeah, I'll make it real easy. It will either be a link that you click. Actually, what I did last quarter is I just posted a link in Canvas, and so then you can just click on the link in Canvas. So, so there will be that opportunity if you do miss classes. Also, completing assignments on time. So this is just one of those things, and I do have a 10% late penalty for late assignments, minimum 10% late penalty. And really, this is just so that you really keep working on the same material that we were working on class during that week. Again, this is just another example of repeating what you're learning in close proximity to hearing about it for the first time. And so completing assignments on time is another indicator that the student's going to succeed. And also preparing for tests. So all the tests that we'll have two tests in here, one around the midterm and one at the end of the quarter. There will be an in-class portion and there will be an outside of class portion, and essentially an essay portion. These tests are open book, open note. However, that does not mean that you shouldn't prepare because you can have the book and the notes there. You still need to prepare for the test, because if you don't, you're going to run out of time for the class session. There's a limited amount of time in the class for the class portion of the test, and you have to submit it basically by 7 p.m. by the end of the class. And I have had students in the past have issues completing it who, in my opinion, weren't prepared to take the test and were probably searching for information throughout that time. So be prepared for the test also. And then the ways that, the things that happen that I know students probably are not going to succeed is, this is a big one, and this is why, if you read your email, there was an extra credit assignment for you to give me proof that you've ordered your book or have your book by this Friday. If students don't have their book by the 3rd week of the quarter, it's very unlikely that they're going to do well in the class. It's just the first 3 weeks, I think, of the quarter, I provide scanned copies of the readings because I know it takes some time to order the book and then to get the book. So for the first 3 weeks, you don't have to worry about having the textbook for the readings because I'll provide all those. After that, the expectation is that you have a book. And so it's really key for you to get that book ordered as soon as possible. My books are not listed on MBS Direct, which is the college's online bookstore. Yeah, and the reason for that is because they would charge you probably $180 for a used copy of this book, whereas you can go to Amazon or textbooks.com or abe.com or half.com and find this book, a used copy of this book, for under $20. And so I just don't want anybody spending an ungodly amount of money on a book that they don't need to. It's just a waste of money. However, that does require you to have a credit or a debit card typically to make an order for those books. So if anybody's going to have an issue, say, ordering a book before they receive their financial aid in the 3rd week, let me know and we can work something out. But I really encourage everybody to use those online resources to order your books. I've been doing it this way for 2 years now, and I think I've maybe had one student who had an issue. If you haven't ordered books before online, here, I'll share my screen and I'll show you here. Let's see. I'm going to go to, there we go. I'll just go to Amazon. Most of the sites are fairly similar as far as how you access them. So this is Amazon.com. The best way, the only way I'll recommend to order books online is if you look in your syllabus. If you don't have a syllabus, you can log into Canvas, and there's one right at the top of the Canvas website. But I include, there's only one required text for this class. It's the Fundamentals of Financial Management. I list another, there's a case study that we may use if we have time, but that's free, so don't worry about that. But the Fundamentals of Financial Management, the last, there's a description and authors and all that sort of stuff. Then there's an ISBN number. Search for the ISBN number because there are multiple editions of this book, and you really want to make sure that you have the same edition. Not that they change that much, but they change enough to make it difficult.
The 7th edition.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Is it January 2011? Was it based on this ISBN number?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if it's, I would be surprised if it was the latest. They seem to pump out a new edition about every year. Yeah, for no reason other than the textbook publishers want to make money. That's just me. So anyways, if you type in the ISBN number and do a search, and you can do this at any of the sites will come up, it'll take you to the right edition and to the right book. And then you can go down here, and so they have hardcover, and then they have these used editions. I'll just click on used and new here. So they'll give you the price here. So right now, the lowest price book, used book is $24 plus $3.99 shipping. So one of the things that I always recommend, though, is buy from one of these sellers who has a rating that's above 90% and has a lot of total ratings. So, like, I wouldn't necessarily buy from this person. It's probably fine, but I would pay 63 cents more and go with HPB Ohio because they have a 98% positive rating, and they have 26,000 ratings, which essentially means that they're a professional bookseller or company. Yeah, 168. I probably wouldn't buy from JB4488 because they only have 10 ratings. Even though it's 100%, I wouldn't buy from them. So, yeah, missing pages, or you might not receive the book, which is one of the reasons why that's sort of the big risk. Yeah. Is that these guys with very low total ratings, you don't really know how, you don't know that they aren't just pumping up their numbers themselves and then ripping people off. Yeah, because they, this is not Amazon selling these books. These are private sellers. And so, yeah, go with a high rating and a high number of ratings. I would go with, somebody with multiple hundreds ratings at least. So maybe 500 plus ratings, over 90%. Most good sellers are going to be like 95% and above. And so that's how I would sort of select. Those are the two big criteria for buying these books. High number of positive ratings, over 95%, high number of total ratings. But again, this book literally on MBS Direct, if I had chose to list it there, would have been $170 probably. And it's a used book. So I'm not a fan of MBS Direct. So.
Hey, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if was this for this class last school year? Was it the same edition?
Yes.
The same text? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have my book already then. Because
okay.
I have family and friends that have them. So
okay.
She's grabbing it for me. I just wanted to make sure it was the right edition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been teaching. I'm the only one who's taught this course. I think here at the college for the last 2 or 3 years, and I've been using the same edition. So if you know someone else who took the course and they still have their book, check it, but it's likely it's going to be the same edition. So you can get through it that way too.
So who's teaching business law now? Because I took business law with you.
I think Adib Jamshedi is teaching it. I'm not
okay. I wonder if he's using the same book. Somebody was asking me for my business law book for this quarter, but I didn't know.
I'm sorry, what was that, Paul? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Larry Frazier, I think, is another person who may be teaching it. I don't know what textbook they're using, honestly. So, okay. So that's my recommendations for buying a book. And again, if you have any issues with that process, let me know, and we can work something out. So again, back to do not succeeding. Attending sporadically, or not attending for like the first 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know of anyone who's passed one of my courses who has not attended the first 3 or 4 weeks. It's just a really bad way to start. Yeah, and not attending regularly. It's just you don't get the opportunity to. Well, hopefully I'm doing a decent job of teaching you, so my ability to explain and demonstrate some of these concepts is better than you just reading the book. It's not easy material if you're just trying to read it from the book. Yeah, so basically all the do not succeeds are the opposites of the succeeds. Not turning in assignments in a timely fashion. There are folks who have gone through like half a quarter and then decided they want to do all their assignments halfway through the quarter. Aside from getting late assignment penalties, it's just not, the learning process doesn't occur that way. All right, so those are my hints for succeeding or not succeeding. I'm going to look at it that way. So is everyone familiar with logging into Canvas? If you are, well, here, I'll log in myself. Please log into Canvas right now, because the syllabus, which I'm going to go over right now, is on Canvas. So if you haven't printed out a copy, then you can go to Canvas, and I'll just show you here. Took me a while to get used to Canvas. We used to have Moodle, I think it was what it was called. Moodle was our learning management system.
Changing it so frequently.
What's that?
I mean, because I remember Moodle too, and then it switched to Canvas.
Right.
Last quarter, I believe.
Yeah, and I sort of like Canvas, although
I like Canvas. It just took because I didn't know what the modules were.
Yeah,
Not keeping updated on my and the instructor sometimes wouldn't even understand it. And then he comes back, okay, I know what I'm doing now.
Right.
I'm not going to say anything, but put him on blast.
yeah, I haven't figured out how to make my site pretty yet. I had pictures on my Moodle site, but I might get my pictures back up there. My finance pictures, they're so exciting. They have numbers on them and things. Yeah. So the syllabus is listed right at the top there, so you can click on that and it should pop open a window and let you open it. Right below that is that link, so if you lose that email that I sent with the Zoom video conference link, you can just click on that and it will take you to the Zoom classroom every week. I should click on this. And you can either open this up in the viewer here, or if you want to download it to your computer or open it up in Word, you can click on this little link up here. And then you have to do that. But I just want to make sure. Anybody have any issues getting into this course on Canvas? Launch. No? Okay. So I'm just going to briefly run through this syllabus. Not the most entertaining thing in the world, but it's sort of one of the syllabus is what really gives you the basic information about the course, what you should be learning, and the grading requirements and things like that, and my contact information. So we'll run through this real quickly. Again, if you have questions, raise your hand or shout it out. So my name is Steve Zawoski. Probably it should be pronounced Zawoyski. It's a Czech name. It's a Czech Polish name. But I grew up in the Midwest, and everything sort of gets homogenized in the Midwest. So I am now known as Steve Zawoski. My telephone number and fax number are there. You can use that to contact me. My email address is there. That's the best way probably to reach me. I tend to be in and out of my office a lot. Office hours are by appointment. So basically contact me and we'll work something out that works for our schedules. This class is going to meet every Tuesday unless I let you know otherwise, from 5 to 7 p.m. And you can attend via Zoom or be here. If you're near the Lummi campus, you can come to SAC 2, which is next to the bookstore and the computer lab, and we'll be there. This is 5-credit class. Okay. I'm just going to breeze through. I'm not going to read all of this to you. Be on time. It just helps to get through the material. If everybody's on time, then I can start on time and we can get done earlier on time. If you're using Zoom, you do need to have a working webcam with both video and audio, and I do need to be able to see you. I know that there is an opportunity that you can mute, well, you can mute yourself, obviously. You can also turn your video off if you want to, but to get your full participation grade, I need to be able to see you and your face, or a majority of your face, so that we can interact with you. And for the most part, that's just because this is an electronic, for most of you, it's an electronic experience. And I don't want you just be interacting with me. I want you to be able to interact with other students too. And so that allows it. So,
Steve?
Yes.
Just real quick again. I mean, I could like, I mean, I've been using Zoom before with past courses, but I use a laptop and it's already logged in and everything. But on this computer right here, I just went straight to the site, and I caught you and with the ID number and stuff. But I mean, I could see all the other students' name, but mine's not showing. I don't know what do I do? Like,
oh, you mean as far as you're listed as student right now, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I think if you go to, let me see. If you go to manage participants, maybe, or not manage, it probably says participants at the bottom of your window there. You click on that, and then click on or highlight your student name there. And then if you click on more, it allows you to rename it. Are you getting that option? So participants, if you click on participants, it should give you a list of all the participants.
Yeah,
It says rename at the bottom. So if you click on your name and highlight your name, like click on it and then click rename, it should let you type in your name right there.
Oh, okay. Let me see if it works here. There it goes.
Yep, there you
All
go.
right, cool, thanks.
Yep. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So if you're not going to make a class for some reason, let me know beforehand. Contact me. Email me is probably the best way. Before class, let me know why you're not going to be able to make the class. Yes.
So if something, I would say it would be in this class, if something did come up and then we did the YouTube, would we still get credit for that if we did watch the YouTube?
So your attendance, so basically, if you contact me before class and let me know and you have a good excuse, then you're going to get credit. And yeah, I would recommend that you view the YouTube, but you know, yeah, that would be mine. But yeah,
so with the youth, like if there is missed classes, you're gonna automatically like have the link for that YouTube for every class, or?
Yeah. I'll just plan on recording, assuming I remember, recording every class and then publishing it the next day or the day after, so that it will be, and I'll post a link on Canvas. And the Canvas, the way I organize it is by week, and so I'll just put a link under that week's module to a YouTube video, and that will be the video of the class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, all right. And this thing at the bottom that says, it will not be possible to earn a passing grade if a student misses more than 30% of this class. Technically, hypothetically, it might be possible, even though attendance is worth 30% of your grade. if you did great in all the other areas in your assignments and tests. But typically what happens is if you miss that amount of class, it's very difficult for you to do well in those other areas also. And so it just becomes highly unlikely that you'll pass. So that's how I'll put it. It will be highly unlikely that you will pass if you miss more than 3 classes, because I think essentially there will be 10 or 11 classes this quarter. So the required text, like I said, the top one in bold there, Fundamentals of Financial Management, Concise Edition, that is the only required text. Use the ISBN number to search for and order that. Should the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs invest in a woody biomass cogeneration facility is a case study that we may work with at the end of the quarter if we have time. It's usually time dependent. The prereqs for this course, CMPS 116, which is Basics of Microsoft Excel, Math 107, which is Statistics, and BUAD 235, which is Managerial Accounting. We do use financial statements a good amount in this course, and they're the basis for a lot of the ratios that we calculate, so you do need to understand financial statements. I'll give a brief review of financial statements before we start using them, but you should definitely understand the difference between, say, an income statement and a balance sheet and a statement of stockholders' equity and a cash flow statement and those things, because we will be working with those.
Is this class going to be kind of similar to like managerial accounting, or is it going to be totally different?
It will be different. I don't know how managerial accounting is taught right now. I used to teach it, but I haven't taught it in several years now. So we're going to be using, though, some of the information from, or some of the things that you hopefully learned in both financial accounting and managerial accounting as a basis for some of these calculations. So that's why we have managerial accounting as a prerequisite, because then we know that you've taken both the accounting classes before getting here. So it provides a good basis for what we're going to be doing. So course description explores the principles and applications of financial decision-making in nonprofit and for-profit organizations, includes financial markets, institutions, calculation of financial performance using various financial tools and ratios, and evaluation of the use of financing in various business scenarios, or in other words, getting a loan in different business scenarios. Every course here at the college has both college outcomes and course outcomes, and so those are the list of things that you should be able to do if you successfully complete this course. And then the evaluation and assessment. So this is basically the 4 components of what your grade, how your grade is determined in this class. Again, 30% attendance participation. That means arriving on time, prepared, participating, that sort of thing. Late attendance, I'll give you a half credit for that class, or if you leave halfway through class, minus an excused or an agreement between you and I before, you'll get half credit in both of those situations. Cell phones isn't as big of an issue unless you're in class here with me, but please mute them or set them to vibrate if you do have them and you're here. I've talked about missing class already and what you need to do. Let me know beforehand. I do try to keep this, even though there are a lot of numbers, I try to keep this fun and interesting. And certainly it's going to be relevant if you're going into management in any sort of capacity. What you learn in here will be good tools for that. Sometimes we'll do, like, if you know the game show Jeopardy, sometimes we'll do Jeopardy-like games in class. So students seem to enjoy those. So we'll do a few things like that. Assignments, both in class and homework assignments, are another 30% of your grade. Again, this is just another opportunity for you to practice what you've learned in class and really move that information into your long-term memory banks. Late assignments will 10% deducted for each day, or at least that's what could happen. I tend to not be as strict as that, but you will miss at least 10% if you turn in a late assignment. And it sort of goes up as the later the assignment is. So again, this is really just as an incentive to help you get things in on time so that you're practicing what we learned that week and moving on to the new concepts next week. Exams, another 30%. We'll have 2 this quarter again, middle of the quarter and end of the quarter. And there'll be a combination of essay, short answer, multiple choice, fill in the blank, true and false, lots of computational questions. So you'll be doing computations. Again, a lot of these you'll want to be doing in Excel, so hopefully you're familiar with that. You can also use a calculator if you feel more comfortable, but some of the functions that we're going to be using, you definitely want to know how to use Excel to do those, and I'll teach you how to do that. Again, there's going to be an in-class portion of the exam, and then there will be an out-of-class essay question or essay questions. And typically how I do that is I will post them on Canvas at the same time that I post the exam that night, and then you have 24 hours to complete the out-of-class essay question. So typically they'll be due at 7 o'clock the following day for the out-of-class portion. And the financial analysis project, this all is 10%, and this also is time dependent. In other words, if we have enough class time by the end of the quarter to fit this in. And this really just involves you practicing using all the ratios or some of the ratios and financial analysis tools that you learn in here on a publicly traded company. And so you would go out to Yahoo Finance or hoovers.com, and you would get the financial statements for, let's say, Ford Motor Company, and you would have an assignment list with 8 or 9 calculations and a few questions, and you would use that financial statement to actually do those calculations and to answer the questions. So that's really a good way to summarize what you've learned and then put it into practice in the real world. So again, I hope we have time for that, because it's a great way to just make sure that you can do these things not just in a classroom setting, but also with real world information and financial statements. So, and then the grading scale there, that's just the typical Northwest Indian College grading scale. All right, so that's the syllabus. Any questions on any of that information or anything else? No? Okay. I'll just real briefly, I just want to just show you, and you can look at your Canvas right now, but I just want to show everybody how this is going to be organized here. So right now you can probably just see these top 2 sections. What we'll do is I go through the quarter is I will, like next week, I'll release week 2, and so you'll be able to access that as of class time next week. So every week each module will include resources, and those are things that you would use, either readings. In this case, for week 1, I've scanned chapter 1 and chapter 2 readings in there, so you can print it out or you can read it online if you don't have a book, or you can just use your book. Or other documents that you're going to use either in class or for a homework assignment. And so I've included, there's a file there, personal introductions, because we're all going to do personal introductions here as soon as I'm done blabbing about Canvas. And so if you open that up, it just has some information there. So you're going to have a resources section and an assignment section. And the assignments, I almost always ask you to submit as a file that you upload back to Canvas. And so hopefully you're familiar with that. For instance, for this extra credit, unless you're here in class or show me via video, if you want to send me, upload a copy of your
Maybe show you.
you can purchase order, or yeah, or you can show me. But you can show me a copy of your purchase order, take a picture of your book, and that's fine. You can upload that. But all these other assignments I will have here. They'll have a due date. So these are the due dates. January 19th is next Tuesday, which is when we meet. And pretty much all the assignments are going to be worth 100 points. This week, for instance, with chapter 1 and 2 readings, I'm not actually asking you to read the entire chapters. So if you click on chapter 1 and 2 under the assignments, it shows you the pages that I want you to read in each of those chapters. So if you have any questions about what's being asked for, either with an assignment or a resource, just click on it, and it should have some more details. And if you...
So after we read that, and then we can focus on 100 points for your assignments that are due.
Yeah, and I'll review every week. I'll review the assignments that I'm giving you for the following week. So this is how Canvas will work. You'll want to check in a couple times during the week. If I have updates between classes, I will typically email everyone, do a broadcast email if it's important. If it's not, and I just tell you to check Canvas, you might want to look a few times at Canvas each week. But that's sort of how I use Canvas. We won't be using the video conferencing technology. We may do a few discussions, may ask some questions, and you might participate in discussions during the week, but that's pretty much it. So that's Canvas. So now, pretty much the last thing. Oh, one quick announcement here, and hopefully everyone, whether they're here at Lummi or at other locations, will be able to get access to this. But this Thursday at noon here at Lummi campus in the CAC building, or the Cultural Arts Center, the chairman of the Lummi Indian Business Council, Tim Ballou, is going to give a talk. He's actually giving a talk here at noon, from noon to 2, and then he's going up to Western Washington University and giving a similar talk at 4 p.m., I think, that day. But he's going to be talking about how Lummi has been working to create strong and resilient communities. And so I'd really encourage, if you are available, to, and we're going to try to get a Zoom video conference set up so that if you're not here, that you'll be able to click on a Zoom and at least watch his talk. But he's actually, if you don't know this, so the department chair of the Tribal Governance Business Management Program is Laurel Ballou. It's actually her son. And he's been chairman here for at least 3 years now, 3 or 4 years. He's a young guy, but they're doing some great work, and he's got some good things to say. And so if they do get a Zoom link for the talk on Thursday at noon, I will post it. I'll probably email it out to everybody. But if you're here at Lummi, you can attend. It's in the CAC building. So, all right. So the last thing we're going to do are introductions. So I don't have to keep talking. You don't have to keep listening to me. And so if you open up, it's just a good opportunity. If you open up that personal introductions file under resources, it has a few items there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody to introduce themselves and answer these questions. Where are you from? Why did you choose NWIC? What do you hope to get out of this course? And one thing that you would like the rest of us to know about you. And I'm going to start. My voice is going anyway, so I should probably quit talking here. Let's see here. I want to get back to there. Thank you. All right. So I've been here at Northwest Indian College since 2009. You don't have to talk as much about yourself as I'm going to right now, but you should probably know a little bit about my background since I'm going to be teaching you things here. I was hired as really the first business faculty member here at the college when the college wanted to reactivate their 2-year business degree program. So I helped redeveloping that. And then I worked with the current director of the program to develop the 4-year degree program, which you are all now a part of, Tribal Governance and Business Management, which went live 2 years ago now, I think. And so I was a full-time faculty member until 2014, and then I accepted the position here of the Chief Financial Officer. So I'm the CFO the college right now, so I do numbers thing all day long, which surprisingly usually puts me in a good mood. Staring at Excel spreadsheets and calculating things. It's what I enjoy. So that's my full-time gig. I teach this class just because I enjoy teaching. I want to get to know students as they come through the program here. My educational background, I have a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from the University of Washington. I have a Master's in Business Administration from Washington State University. And my focus there was hotel and restaurant management and small business development. I started my first business when I was 26 in Pullman, and it was a technology consulting company. I'd been doing technology systems administration, network administration, and started a small technology consulting company over there that I operated for 8 years until I couldn't stand living in Pullman anymore and moved from Eastern Washington back to the west side of the state. I've been in Washington State since 85, 86. I have a 5.5-year-old daughter. Her name's Olivia, who I'm trying to teach how to snowboard right now, and who loves Pokemon. I throw that in there because that's all she wants to talk about is Pokemon. So if any of you have kids in that age range, I'm hoping I'm not the only one whose child just loves Pokemon. I'm currently also enrolled in some online classes through Walden University, upper-level accounting classes, so that after I think I need to take an additional 4 upper-level accounting classes, and then I can sit for the CPA exam here in Washington State, which is the Certified Public Accountant exam. And it's if you're working in accounting, especially for a nonprofit organization or a public institution, it's really helpful. It's much more complex, in my opinion, doing accounting in these environments than it is in the for-profit world, because we get money from all different sources and they have all sorts of different restrictions on it. And so the way that you account for revenues and expenses is much different than you do in a for-profit environment. So I decided I wanted to get some more advanced accounting training and then sit for my CPA so I could hopefully do a really good job at this. So that's what I'm doing right now. I just finished an auditing course, which was pretty interesting, and the college is actually in the middle of their annual audit right now, and so it's provided me some good information that I can use as we go through this process with the auditors. So hopefully in a year or so I'll be sitting for my CPA exam. Outside of work, I like to bike, hike, travel. I've traveled throughout South America and Southeast Asia. I love going to Thailand, Vietnam, and Laos. Really cool countries. Learned to meditate over there, so I meditate a lot. I actually teach a meditation class here at the college on Monday nights at 5. If you're interested, it's a 2-credit class. Oh, and I like to, when I'm out hiking, I enjoy mushrooming. So I like cooking. So I can identify like chanterelles and lobster mushrooms and morels and a few other things. So I like to go out and do that. Anyway, so that's me. So now I'm going to ask you guys, and maybe I'll ask both of you to come up here. We have 2 students here in SAC 2 without webcams, and introduce yourself and answer those, I don't know, 4 questions or 5 questions, whatever, so that the rest of the students can get to know you too. Okay. All right.
We got the questions. Can they see me from right here?
Yeah, I can just, well, yeah, they should be able to see you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's showing up, but then I'll take the pictures away, or the questions away.
Okay.
Let's see if I can just do this.
Here we go. Okay, so personal introductions. My name's Dina Point. I'm from Lummi. Grew up in Lummi most of my life. I have 4 children. My son works over at LIBC. He's what do I want to call him? What's his job title? Momo, what's Bubba's job title?
Bubba's job title is office assistant / receptionist for the general manager.
Yeah. And so that's what my son does. I work at Lummi Counseling Services. I'm a chemical dependency counselor in training. That's what I did my first degree in. And then I transferred over to the Tgbm because I'm hoping someday to get into maybe some therapeutic administration work and hoping to be a leader or a role model for our community as well as my children. My daughter, Ayana, she's 10. I got Kaylee, she's 8. No, sorry, Ayana's 12, Kaylee's 10, and Joseph's 8. So I got my babies to think about as well. So working a full-time job and going to school and being a mom's quite a juggle. So right after class, I have a basketball game to go to, and so that's what I'll be doing. But that was kind of where my passion lies, is helping the community with drug and alcohol, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm hoping to make it through this class. You know, it's a challenge. Math has always given me anxiety, so hopefully I can team up with Momo or something and get through that. And I chose Northwest Indian College. I was one of the first students when the high school opened, so the high school used to be here. I think there was only a few of us, and that was due to my Uncle Willie Jones, which is Momo's grandpa. So I just have a lot of memories here. I'm rooted here. And so I just feel really fortunate to have the Northwest Indian College to help us grow in our education and to have in our economics and our community grow. So that's another thing that I've kind of been passionate about too. What I hope to get out of this course, I guess that would be maybe some skills in financial management if I need that under my belt someday. I guess I'm not thinking I'm going to, but maybe to have some knowledge and to know, like you said, it's a requirement, and I'm going to make the best out of it, out of this class, and hoping to learn. And I always like challenges, so I think I'll be okay. And what is that last question?
One thing you would like us to know about you.
One thing, well, I think I pretty much said it, just with my introduction and everything. I'm related to Melissa Martin. She's going to be one of my bridesmaids. So
Yeah, and I still gotta go get fitted.
Yay! So.
Oh yeah, and you're
cool
getting
that
married in May.
Yeah, I love the community setting here, so I think that's awesome too. But yes, and that's me. So thank you.
All right.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. I'm Paul Roberts. I'm a senior here at the Northwest Indian College in the Tgbm. I'm from Lummi. I've been kind of in and out of this college for probably about 10 years now. I started first coming here in 2001 when I was 17, and I really didn't take it too seriously back then because I was kind of a naive kid. But I came back here in 2007 and got my AA in 2008. And beforehand, actually, I worked at Lummi Natural Resources for about 5 years. But then after getting my AA, I moved down to Arizona and did some bookkeeping in Parker in the offices down there. So in 2012, I started getting into the information tech program and finished that up. And when I found out about the TGBM program, I got excited about that. And yeah, I got 2 more quarters and I'm finishing that up. So I'm pretty excited. It's starting to get pretty real. I'm excited about that. So I'm a little nervous about the business side of the degree. I did okay in econ. Marketing was pretty cool, but I had to take statistics before as a prereq before taking this course. So I did okay in that. So I'm a little nervous about this course. So as far as crunching the numbers, like Steve said. So hopefully he can help me out with that. But what's the last one? One thing you'd like to know? I like to work within my tribe eventually after it's all said and done. Like I said, I'm going to get the information tech degree, and at the TGBM, I'd like to find some job within the college or LIBC, something within the tribe, and help out. So it's good to be here.
All right, so I am going to just then sort of go through based on the list so I can make sure I don't miss anybody. Just have each of you. So Austin, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Austin Andy. I am a Yakama Nation tribal member, and I chose to come to NWIC because, well, just to pursue college anyway. It's local. I moved out of Yakima back to this area like 2004, and working for 3 casinos. I just wanted to pursue a better degree to get my career started, and I like through this TGBM program. I just received my associate's degree. I walked last June, and I'm rolling pretty good right now, and I love numbers. I love money math. So I'm really looking forward in a career for finance and accounting. So, and yeah, to get what I want to get out of this class is just pretty much financial strategies, things like that. One thing to know about me, it's I'm a nice guy, family, brother, father. I love sports. And
Are you really a 49ers fan?
Yep, I sure am.
I'm sorry. You must not have had a good year this year.
Hey, no bandwagon here. But yeah, it's pretty much basketball is my favorite sport, but football I'm second. So it's
Right.
other than that, and I just look forward to having a good quarter.
All right. Thank you, Austin.
All right.
Karina?
Hi, my name is Karina Penny, and I live in Lapway. And I just got my associates this last quarter, got finished. So this quarter, I'm doing all my degree courses started. And I look forward to this class because I like working with numbers and working with Excel. I'm a mother, I have 5 children. And I think my sister took your class this last quarter, Caroline Penny.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's my sister.
Good.
Trying to catch up to her. And that's about it. Just try to get a good grade so I can get my GPA up. And that's about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to keep your GPA at a certain level so you can be eligible for all those funding opportunities that are out there, the scholarships and things. So, yeah, and that's I'll just put in a little plug here also. We're really lucky, the Tribal Governance Business Management Program, to have support from the Johnson Foundation every year. So the Johnson Foundation gives particularly this program, specifically this program, money every year for scholarships for students who are interested in business and entrepreneurship. And I think typically they're able to award, let's say, around 20 students each year just from this scholarship. And so if you're not familiar with it, I believe you can typically the application process starts in September, but I think if there's additional funding, you can apply during the course of the year. So if you haven't heard about that or interested in it, you might contact Laurel Ballou or let me know, and I'll forward on your information to her. I don't want to certainly promise that they have funding right now, but pretty much for the last 3 years since this program started, we've gotten great support from them. So let me know if you're interested, and I'll forward you on to her.
Their application cycle closed in the fall, and I believe it reopens again next fall.
Oh, okay.
It's an annual scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quarterly, so when you get excuse me, when you get awarded,
Mm-hmm.
It's for every quarter of the year.
Okay.
They take your award and divide it by the quarters.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been involved in the actual awarding of of that scholarship in a few years, so I wasn't sure how that process was working. But yeah.
Yeah, I applied for it, and I wasn't awarded the Johnson scholarship, but they have like subdivisions,
Mm-hmm.
and so they pass your application packet on, and the award I ended up getting was called the American Indian Entrepreneurship Scholarship.
Huh. Okay.
So even if you don't get the Johnson scholarship, you still have a possibility of getting another one. So apply.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely apply either way. It's okay. 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 All right. Thank you, Karina. How about George? There you go.
Hello. Hi. Okay. My name is George Moody, and I am from Lapwai, Idaho. And why I chose Northwestern in college, I guess I tried another college, local college, and it was just a regular college. And coming from Lapwai, which is mainly Indian population, it was kind of just like a cultural shock for me just to go from all native school almost to a college filled with different ethnic backgrounds. And when I came to Northwestern College, I just planned on coming out here to work in my GPA and then pursue other varied colleges, but I kind of liked it here at Northwestern College. I like how they implement, I guess, just the heavy influence of what my degree is going to go towards. It's going to go towards working for the tribe, so they're helping me out a lot with that. And what I hope to get out of this course, I guess this is my second time taking this course. I took this last semester and I didn't do too well. I did everything that Steve said not to do, so this is my second go around with this course. So I plan to do better on this quarter. And one thing about me is I work for the Nez Perce tribe, and I'm the enrollment specialist right now. And I also serve as support staff for my tribal leaders. And that's all.
All right. Great. Thanks, George. You can just view the first time as practice. It'll be easier this time. All right. How about Jessica? Gladys B?
Hi. I don't know where to start. I guess I'm here to finish my bachelor's. I didn't really quite like the idea of taking a finance class because I don't like math all too much, which is kind of weird because I was a math tutor for 2 years. It still is not my thing. I am a single mom of 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old son. His name is Anthony. And I have an 8-year-old daughter. Her name is Divinity. I also took in 2 foster kids over the holiday season. One of my very close cousins, she's more like a sister, she lost her kids, so I stepped in. I don't know if that's going to end real soon, but I'm kind of at my wit's end with it, but we'll see. I'm trying to make it work. But going to school full-time is kind of more important to me. My kids deserve everything, and that's why I came back to school. I came back when my son was 2 months old, and I finished my associates in 2014. I will finish my bachelor's next spring. Basically, I chose NWIC mainly because it's local, but now I actually have enjoyed being a part of a tribal college. It's pointed out the important things with sovereignty and everything for our community, and my direction with my degree has changed a little bit mentally because of it being a tribal college. That's about it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jessica. Let's see, how about Lena? Oops. Let's see.
Oh, it's Jessica, you're unmuting.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Lena, are you there? Oh, I have no video. I unmuted her, but I don't hear anything.
Lena, why aren't you by a computer? I'm her sister. I can jump in and yell.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, maybe we'll go back to Lena. All right. How about Melissa Martin, or apparently Momo?
Yeah, my name's Melissa Martin, and my friends and family call me Momo. What was the questions again? I wrote them down.
Where are you from?
So I'm from Lummi, born and raised right next door to the log building. So NWIC is my neighbor. I chose to come to NWIC just because it's my tribal college, and it was my first job ever was working for the Coast Salish Institute when I was 16 years old. And so I've just seen college grow up, and just also the story, my grandpa really started, had a part on 30 when it used to be the School of Agriculture. So I just was really proud of how much our college has grown since then. And so I was excited when they got the 4-year degrees, because they were just a 2-year, direct transfer degree, and now they're bigger. So that's, I like NWC. I like their the closeness of everybody and the cultural side of everything. I hope to get more out of this class. I hope to get more financial knowledge. And it's funny, is I thought I hated math, but once I started taking all these classes, I actually don't hate it as much. Especially where I work for LIBC in the government department. So I work for the chairman, the vice chairman, and all our council members. So I pretty much am support staff for them. And I just see how important it's going to be for our career, for our future, because I do plan on working for the tribe, and this financial stuff is a big part of it. So, that's it. I have 2 kids. So I work full time for LIBC, and I'm a full-time student, and I have 2 children. And I think that's it.
All right, great.
Mhm.
Your bandwidth was sort of getting low there. I'm not sure what kind of internet connection you have. But
So what does that mean? What does bandwidth mean?
that means like basically how good of an internet connection you have, how much information you can push across it. So do you have like?
So what's?
Go ahead.
So I live in the one area on the whole res that has no internet. Like even San Juan cable doesn't come out to come. It's more like maybe a block away from where they cut off.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to have a hotspot. So that's what I always use. It's a Verizon. It's actually our work phone, LIBC phone that has a mobile hotspot. So that's what I use. And most of the time it works fine. Every once in a great while it will say your bandwidth is low.
Okay.
So
you know, the other thing you might try if you're literally right next to the log building is see if you can get onto the college's Wi-Fi, the guest Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I actually don't live there anymore. My parents live there still, but
okay.
But I might in the future just go to the class.
Yeah.
If it's just what sometimes our schedules conflict because my fiance is also a full-time student too, so I might just start coming to the class face to face.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. All right. Thank you. All right. How about Rachel?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So my name is Rachel Burkowski. I actually just got married a couple months ago, so it's still kind of weird introducing myself with my new last name. But I'm out here at the Nisqually site. I'm a Nisqually tribal member, and I also work for the Nisqually Tribes Education Department. I chose Nwic. I was going through the Grays Harbor program, the online program that they do, but Nisqually decided to get an Nwic site out at our tribe, so just the convenience of it, and I like the fact that I could, go to school with like my family and the community members and different stuff like that. What do I hope to get out of this course? I just got promoted to be the executive secretary in the tribe's education department, and so I'll be working more with like our education budget and different stuff like that, the more accounting aspect of it. So I hope to get some more skills with that. I have an 8-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, both boys. One thing you'd like to, and I actually just bought my first house last week.
Well, so. Congratulations.
Thank you. So,
awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Congratulations on that. That's a big accomplishment.
Yes, thank you.
Great. All right. Thank you, Rachel. Valerie?
Hello, my name is Valerie Herda. I'm from the Makah tribe. I have 4 children. My oldest is 33. He's in the Muckleshoot, and he's also going to Nwic. Just finishing up his capstone, so he's close to finishing.
Oh wow.
My 20-year-old, that's my baby. He's in college as well at Peninsula College, and I have a daughter, 24, I think she said. She just turned 24, and she's also in school. I've been married for 30 years. And I chose Nwic because I think I just like the people, and I've been working with them for a long time. I work for Makah Higher Education. I am the education case manager for the Makah tribe, so I deal with about 23 different colleges have about 96 students that I deal with at all times with incoming high school students. I think there's 19 coming in this quarter or this new year. So I stay busy. What do you hope to get out of this course? Well, I own an espresso and ice cream shop. So I'm hoping that the financing and budgeting and all that good stuff will come in handy when I'm submitting my quarterly taxes, which I just did today, and just figuring out a way to manage the budgets a little bit tighter. Because I guess this leads into one thing I'd like you to know about me is that the money that I make from my business goes to the National Center for Missing Children and the Polyclass Foundation. My son went missing when he was 6 years old, and he would be 29 now. So I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of work with the National Amber Society and the Polyclass Foundation. And that's kind of what I like to do, is to be able to give back to the people who helped me when I was searching for my son. So I guess that kind of ties into both the last questions. And that's it.
All right. Great. Thank you. All right. And Lena?
Hello, Lena Clattersby. I've had Steve for one class before, his last business law class.
How did I do?
Good.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah,
I think I was in that class too.
yeah.
I like that class, actually. I sort of miss it, but anyways, sorry.
I don't miss it.
Torts. Torts and such.
I am 25. I'm a member of the Swinomish tribe. I have a 4.5-year-old son. His thing is Avengers and video games. And he'd play video games 24 hours a day, not sleep at all. I started coming to Northwest in 2011 when he was 2.5 months old. He's the reason I came back to school. And I've got 2 AAs. I've got a general transfer and a early childhood education AA. I finished my bachelor's. After this quarter, I have 6 classes left. So really close, but not close enough to be done this year. Just wait. This course, I hope to learn more of the business aspect of finances. I've done all the other math courses that Northwest has to offer, and one day, it's not a goal or a plan, but if it's offered, I'd like to be the director of the daycare center here at Swinomish, and I think that would help me a lot. Something about me, I just got engaged the day after Christmas.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And Jessica's my biggest sister.
All right. Cool. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you all for introducing yourselves and telling us all a little bit about what you do and why you're here and all that sort of stuff. Fix something here. There we go. So just to sort of finish things off here, one of the things that we use in this particular course, and hopefully you've had an experience with this in some of your other TGBM courses, we have a relationship with the University of Arizona's Native Nations Institute, and they have put together some really great online modules covering different things like economic development, judicial systems, governance, entrepreneurship. And in this class, we're going to do, you're going to do a module called Native-Owned Enterprises. And I'll introduce it a little bit more next week, and we'll get you all signed up for it. But if you haven't done it before, basically it's something that you log into with your computer, and it takes you through a series of usually 40 to 50 slides with videos and readings and things that you do that will basically teach you about Native-owned enterprises from Native leaders across the United States and Canada. So you hear from people in Potawatomi, or you hear from people Dene down in Arizona, or the Northwest here, Tulalip. And so it's a really great resource. It's a great way to learn from people who've actually done it. Some good real world experience. So I'll introduce that a little bit next week, and there will be assignments that correspond to that as we go through the quarter. We'll work through that. And let's see. And I think the last thing. So in Canvas, there were a few assignments for next week. One is just I'd like you to write 2 or 3 paragraphs. Tell me about your personal goals for this finance class. If you don't have any, invent some. And the reason I say this is because if you have a reason in your mind that you want to do something or learn something, it affects your motivation in a positive way. So if you don't have any idea why you're in this class, aside from that you want to get your Tgbm degree and you have to take this class, invent some reasons why you want to be here and what you want to learn. And it will really make the learning process more enjoyable, and you'll be more motivated. And so this is just my way of making you do that. So that's one assignment. Again, order your book or show me your book by Friday. That's an extra credit one. And then the Chapter 1 readings, pages 7 through 22, Chapter 2, pages 26 through 42. This is all listed in Canvas. And again, under resources, let me just make sure I'm talking about this. Under Week 1 resources, you have Chapter 1 readings and Chapter 2 readings. If you click on those links, that's actually a scanned copy of all of those pages. So if you don't have your book, you can use those to actually read the reading assignment. And then there's some, the final assignment is some questions from Chapter 1. So one thing to be aware of in this particular book is they have questions and they have problems at the end of every chapter. You want to make sure you're doing the right one. So if I say questions, look and make sure you're doing question 1-6, because they will have both question 1-6 and problem 1-6. And
you want questions.
Yes, so for Week 1, questions 1-6 through 1-9 and whatever else I said there, 1-11 and 1-12. So do the questions. As we go through this quarter, you'll be doing problems sometimes. So just make sure you look at exactly the questions or the problems, because I've had students do one when they were supposed to do the other in the past, and then they get to do them both. So those are the assignments for next week. That's pretty much all I have for tonight. Any questions about anything?
Is there problems?
There usually are questions and problems at the end of each chapter. So it starts with questions usually, and then after all the questions, yeah, there are problems. But for Chapter 1, just worry about the questions. No questions? All right. Well, thank you for being here and attending the class. If you have any questions or want to contact me this week, you can email me or call me. And yeah. If I don't hear from you, I will see you next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Have a good week.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
And I forgot to mention one thing. I'm doing my certification test finally for my intern for my intern tendency.
Oh, really?
Week. I think the date. It's not going to put in my class, but that's a pretty big test.
Okay.
So, I'll be a certified counselor.
Wow.
Hopefully pass it.
That's great.
It's pretty crazy. I got some pretty crazy books at home that I need to study on.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Let's see.